Welcome back. It's 8:42. If you are on the verge of losing your home or you know someone who is, then you also ought to know about the long bureaucratic process that is often involved in applying for a loan modification from a lender. And in many cases, that approval process takes longer than many homeowners can afford. It doesn't have to be that way. That's according to Stephfan Nurse. He is a loan modification expert, and he is the CEO of ConsumerEducationOnline.com. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. Let's pitch the 3 loan modification myths, and then let you respond to them.
Okay.
That a loan modification is a refinance.
Yeah, it's not. What a loan modification is just reducing your monthly mortgage payment without requiring any credit checks at all, or appraisals, or closing costs. The only thing that you have to do to be eligible for this program is have a financial hardship. And we're in a recession where most people have suffered from reduction in income, illness, divorce, anything of that nature. That's the only thing to be eligible for this program.
Government-sponsored modifications are the only modifications available.
This is a big one.
That's what I think a lot of people think.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only one that's getting getting promoted out there because, of course, it's incentives. But it's actually internal modification is another thing called a traditional modification that's done internally with the lender. Hope Now did a study and showed that over 70% of modifications are actually done internally. So the government's program is not the one that most people get modified. So there's a lot of people losing their homes without knowing that there's another modification available for them. But the homeowner needs to request an internal modification to get that checked.
All right, I'm going to go back and talk to you about that in a minute, but I want to get all 3 of these myths in.
Okay.
Getting approved for a loan modification is hard. It's difficult.
It's not. I've seen way too many files easily go through. The problem is that the homeowner's never been given the proper education on the actual modification process. It's just like if I were to ask you right now to take a science test and I give you history books to study from. That's kind of what's going on with modifications, just getting misinformation.
So what do you do if you find yourself in this situation and you need to modify your home loan? Where do you go?
Well, you go to our website, you definitely go to our website where we have education out there on ConsumerEducationOnline.com that you can basically get to find out what the modification is and just learn that basic so you can move forward.
I want to talk about the second myth, because government-sponsored modifications are the only ones out there. You say most of the people getting them now, it's being done internally with the lender. Do you have to ask specifically for that when you speak with the lender?
Exactly, you do. You have to ask specifically for that modification. So what you do is when you actually go through the process, they're going to review first what's called HAMP. HAMP is the Home Affordability Modification Program. Yes. And then what's going to happen is that you need to, if you get denied, you're going to have to say, can you look at my modification for an internal modification? That's all you need to say. You also need to send in a breakdown of your financials because it's based on your net income, as comparable HAMP is based on gross, and gross is before taxes, net is after tax income.
And what's your experience with this? Are you seeing that when people find out about this and they're finding that there are alternatives out there, they're getting modifications?
Oh yeah. I mean, what's being reported in the media is totally different from what I'm seeing on the ground floor. I've seen for the last 3 years. And that's, again, because the education is so bad right now. So if somebody actually knew in advance how to apply properly for the modification, such as getting their paperwork, their documents are the most important thing. It's like a resume. It's just that's the first impression is the biggest key. So as long as you get that prepared correctly, you're going to get approved, as long as you qualify based on your financials.
We got to go, but what you're saying then, what I get the impression you're saying then, is that the lenders want to do this for you.
Yes, they do. But you have to be in control. Don't put the power in the control of the lender.
Wow. Fascinating. Fascinating. Stephfan Nurse is CEO of ConsumerEducationOnline.com. Thank you for being here. And we have a link to his website at myfoxtampabay.com. Look under the Seen on TV link. Fascinating stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.